Hey everyone, this is Carolyn. For now, we're going to talk about learning modalities, which is sometimes referred to as learning styles. What are learning modalities? So it's the way we use the senses to learn things. So it depends on who you ask, but for our purposes, we're going to say there are four main learning modalities. So auditory, visual, kinesthetic, and reading and writing. I do want to let you know that learning modalities are considered a little bit controversial. Some people say that, everyone kind of has one particular sort of modality or style that they learn best. However, the research doesn't really show that evidence supports that. The experts really say that people do the best when they're exposed to, as many modalities as possible, learning in different ways. I say it depends on the person, it depends on the context, but I still think it's good just to have an awareness of kind of what's your strong suit. So, if you are an auditory learner, you may learn best by listening to lecture and maybe listening back to recordings of things, listening to explanations in clinical. You may do well by explaining information to other people, and maybe by reading your textbook or notes out loud. If you're a visual learner, you may learn best or enjoy looking at or drawing pictures, looking at charts and diagrams, watching videos, watching demonstrations, things like that. If you're a kinesthetic learner, you may like doing things. A lot of nursing students are kinesthetic learners. In nursing you do a lot, and so people who learn best kinesthetically are attracted to nursing. So I have a feeling a lot of you are going to be kinesthetic learners, but doesn't mean you have to be. But you like doing things, you like moving things around, making models, moving your body to learn. That was my cat. And then reading and writing. So if you learn the best by reading the text, writing down notes, rereading, rewriting, making lists. A lot of students report that that's how they learn best. So that's kind of the read-write learning style. However, as I mentioned before, sometimes it just depends on the context. So if you are learning about starting an IV, you could read about it all day, but it's probably best just to practice it, right? So practice it in lab. Understanding the heart, you're not going to be able to dig into somebody and pull out their heart while it's beating or something like that. So, it's probably best by looking at a diagram. And then safety instructions, sometimes it's good just to hear. So it depends on the context. So it's important to think just how different learning modalities play into the learning process from the previous video. Input phase. So how do you want to be introduced to new material? Do you want to read it? Do you want someone to explain it to you? Do you want to look at charts and diagrams? Do you want to watch a movie? Do you want to go to clinical and see it for yourself? Some of these may not be feasible, but just kind of think about that. How do you first want to be introduced to stuff? And then processing. How do you make it your own? Do you make flashcards which you can move around and put into piles? Do you put different signs around your room and you move around? Do you read? Do you watch a video? Do you learn by talking to others or explaining things? How do you really make that information your own? And then think about what sort of learning modalities you like best. Output phase, there's NCLEX style questions. I wouldn't really get to learning style with it because it is what it is. And at the end of the day, everyone has to get there to be able to answer the question. So, you might have a certain style, but, there aren't going to be videos on the NCLEX, at least not yet. So, anyways.